license plate number, nomadic, invoice number, blah, blah, blah. Total due, $189.75. Notice, in all caps, your vehicle registration to be blocked for unpaid tolls and charges to the Harris County Toll Road Authority. You've been found liable for the above charges at an administrative hearing held on 7/27/18. It has been ordered that your vehicle registration be denied if the amounts paid are not paid within 30 days. Unless this matter is resolved immediately pursuant to blah, 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 your vehicle registration will be flagged. You will be unable to register your vehicle until this refusal to pay has been resolved. Are you kidding me, Texas? This is from a year ago, by the way, a toll road. This is why I just gave up the last bit of my summer and drove 2,200 miles from the state of Maine to the state of South Dakota for this crap. First of all, I keep reminding all of my viewers, I don't mind paying tolls. How many times do I have to say that? New York, Pennsylvania, Texas, I don't mind paying them. Show me how to pay them. This system of taking random pictures of license plates and sending bills and hearing notices back to my P.O. box in Washington State while I'm on the road on the East Coast? How is this helpful? I'm desperate at this point. That's why I have come all the way to South Dakota. It is time to make a serious, drastic change. As a matter of fact, if I'm right here in this video, in 24 hours from the start of this right now, I'm going to be a South Dakota resident with South Dakota plates, driver's license, voter registration, vehicle insurance, medical and dental, everything South Dakota in just 24 hours. Does that sound crazy? That's why I booked it here and didn't go to Florida or Texas or Nevada. So, stick with me on this video, and I will share every little detail of this process of changing over into a nomad residency of South Dakota. Okay, so here I am in Rapid City, South Dakota. Actually, I think it's Box Elder right next door to Rapid City, but I'm here at America's Mailbox in South Dakota, kind of like an RV park with an office, right? And as I said, I came here specifically to become a South Dakota resident in one day. That's why I did it. I know there are other options available, and I know there's other people who have made videos and left out some specific details that I want to cover before we dive into this. Like Florida and Texas are also popular options. Florida, Texas, and South Dakota all do not have any state income tax, so that's why they're popular. But Texas and Florida, you're not going to become a resident in one day. Try 2 or 3 months, and you have to provide a bunch more information like proof of residency, and there's other things like you have to have your vehicle inspected every year, emissions testing and stuff like that. Maybe not in Florida and Texas, but South Dakota is a very popular spot to have this done, and that's why this company, which I'm not really endorsing, I've heard a lot of good things about them, America's Mailbox, caters to RVs in a great way, and they help you with all the paperwork. They help get everything done. They have this RV park that allows you to park for one night to establish and have proof of residency. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how it works. Another reason why South Dakota may be a better choice than Florida and Texas is because they actually rank 48th lowest for vehicle insurance. Insurance for an RV down in Florida is much worse than South Dakota. Plus, South Dakota is centrally located, right? So whether you're in Florida or California, if you need to get here real quick, it can't be that far a drive. It's in the middle of the country up north. Whereas Florida, if you're over in California, that's a long drive. Obviously, weather is a concern, just like, in winter, it's going to be covered in snow here. But in Florida, in the summertime, it's going to be hot and humid as well. So, as I said, 24 hours to become a South Dakota resident. How is that possible? How are they able to do that? Well, that's because the state of South Dakota invites true nomads to become a resident of the state very easily by spending one night here in either the campground, or they even have a hotel, motel you can stay at, and you're going to bring that receipt in along with some other forms of ID into the DMV office, and that's how they're going to issue you and say, yep, you truly are a South Dakota resident now. It sounds funny, right? Because it's so quick, but they make that process so easy, and that's why South Dakota is winning the true nomads that have broken away from Stick and Brick's house. We don't have any property, and this is our only option. We need to have a physical address for legal for taxes, for banks and stuff like that. To be clear, what they're doing here at America's Mailbox, if you're trying to just skirt taxes and you still have a house or a business somewhere else, don't even try, guys. It is not worth it. Plus, there are much easier ways to go about that by setting up an LLC in Wyoming or something than to do all this. They're going to find out, and it's not going to be good for you. So this is for true full-time RV nomads who need a legal address, not a P.O. box. There's a big difference between what you get a P.O. box and getting a legal address here. It's actually a PMB box, but it has the address here. We live here. By the time you get done with all your paper, you legally live here at this location and have your own specific lifetime permanent address. That's right. And it's not just having the physical address so that you can have all your voter registration and ID and license plates and everything all set up, but that building right there, which they are expanding, that is the mail forwarding and scanning service. That's right, guys. When all your legal documents or any kind of your mail comes in, they sort it in a room in this building, and then depending on what plan you've picked, and it ranges between like $129 a year to maybe closer to like $200 a year depending on what kind of services you need, they will scan your mail when it comes in and send you an email and say, here's what the outside of this envelope or box or something looks like. What do you want us to do? And right then you can send them a reply back and say, shred that, or that's spam, throw it away, or open that up, it looks like a toll, and show me the information on that. That's right, they will scan your mail. You can get a physical copy of it, and then right on your phone or your computer you'll be able to see, oh, that's a toll. I can see my invoice number, there's a website to pay. So that's maybe, for me, that's the biggest thing to have, but also take the burden away from family back home where I've had a P.O. box that I've had lots of problems with. Well, now I'll be able to have this service, which I think they've got something over 10,000 members here at America's Mailbox. And with that said, I should also mention that they might not be the cheapest in the entire state of South Dakota. There are other companies. So some people like to kind of look around and save a few bucks and go somewhere else. Well, you can ask some other RV nomad vloggers how that's worked out for them going with my Dakota address, because it's so much cheaper. Yeah, they decided to just close up shop without notice and sent hundreds of nomads with just no mailbox, no address. Their registration got lost in the mail, and they all had to come here or go to a different one. So I think you should start with the best. America's Mailbox has been established here in South Dakota for the longest out of any mail forwarding scanning service. They're the best. So, and I'm going to recommend them even though I haven't even signed up yet. I'm doing that tomorrow. I have to spend the night here first. Like I mentioned, I value customer service way up there. Okay, and I've been communicating with Dawn and Barb via email all the way from Maine. They so badly want to help RV full-time travelers along the road that they make this process so easy. That's why they have the RV park with full hookups here. I'm over just partial hookups, but they got a dump station and drinking water. Like I said, they are expanding too. They've got over 10,000 members right now, but they really care about their customers and making this an easy process. If you don't have an RV, if you had to fly in or something, they got a hotel, like a little motel room you can stay at that counts too. Oh, I forgot to mention, they also, you can just dry boondock as well without hookups and stuff like that. As far as filling out all the paperwork to make sure that you can go into the DMV and get your plates and have, if you need your concealed carry license, you got to stay here 30 days to get that, but they have all the paperwork and their support team knows exactly what you're going to need. So they'll look at your documents, they'll make sure you're good before you go in. They'll even do it all for you remotely, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to be here in person because you physically have to get here anyway to get your driver's license picture, but they will do most of this stuff just through email and snail mail and get that all set up. At the very end of this video, I will give you some information on how much the total cost was to transfer from Washington State to move to South Dakota, including the changes in RV insurance annual rates. But I'll give you a little cost rundown so you can get a pretty good idea how much it's going to cost. I personally believe that setting up residency here in South Dakota and with America's Mailbox is the best thing I can do to take the burden off my family and friends back home and to give me more control on the road and to have what I called earlier a permanent physical address that's legal. That's the important part. The first part of this entire process is, like I said, you got to spend one night in South Dakota physically. Otherwise, you will never become a South Dakota resident. So I went inside and I paid for one night. It's $25 for electric only here in the on-season time. And I'm parked, settled, plugged in, and I am registering my first night to become a resident of South Dakota. Tomorrow morning, before I go over the DMV, I'm gonna go inside and get my receipt, proof that I stayed here, sign up for my account so that I have my unique PMB number, which is going to be on my driver's license as well, and then we'll go take care of that. But I got to do this in the right order so that it's real and it's practical for anybody watching. So let me get all comfortable. We'll spend a night here and we'll cut back in the morning. Well, good morning, guys. Basically, I am a South Dakota resident because I have spent the night, but we have to be technically a South Dakota resident. So first thing before we get on the road today, gonna head over to the office over here and I am going to pick a plan. I am going to be issued an actual physical address, and then I'm gonna take that information on the road. So let me go see what I can find out first. Well, guys, I'm good to go. I picked the highest class titanium sorting and mail forwarding service that they have here, the most expensive package, because I mean, this is kind of a business. I need to make sure that I get all my mail, need to make sure they scan every single piece and show it to me. And so the grand total out the door for this was $386.64, but the reason for that is because I put $150 into my postage fund here so that when I ask for something to be shipped, they just take it right out of that fund. They don't have to ask me for any postage money. So it's $229 annually for the titanium mail service package, and then some other fees are involved. Like I said, I will go over the fees at the end of the video for everything involved, so don't worry about that if I don't get to everything right away. But right now, I gotta pack up and we gotta bring the RV over to the DMV office. But I'm here at the DMV, the driver's license exam building, and there's 4 things I gotta bring in: my Washington State valid ID, my Social Security, the real paper, not the stub, and a passport. Oh, and if you don't have a passport, you're gonna need a certified copy of your birth certificate. If you've changed your name or got married, you're gonna have proof of that as well. But these 3 things are the main things. As long as you have those 3, you know you're good. Well, that and you need your actual receipt from spending one night inside South Dakota. So we'll go run in, see how long this takes. That was the most incredibly painless, easy DMV visit anywhere in the I don't even know what to say right now. At the end, I joked with her. I said, that was way too easy. Can I go back for seconds and at least do it again so I can get my money's worth? I went in there, and this is a Friday afternoon, right? Went in there, I got A179, looked up, it said A176. Literally less than 10 minutes later, I showed all my documents, absolutely no problem, passed my eye test. Then they print you off. I don't know if I want to show you all this. Put my piece of paper on top of it, but they give you a physical license today. They print it off in a machine right next to where you do your eye test, and you have a physical 5-year license. So I don't even have to come back to South Dakota for another 5 years. That was incredibly easy. Guess what, guys? I am officially a South Dakota resident right now. I'm on such a roll though. Let's go head over to the courthouse and bring all of my paperwork over there because I got to get South Dakota license plates. Okay, here we go. I'm as close as I'm going to get in an RV. Obviously, driving an RV downtown to the courthouse is not ideal, but I'm only 1 block away there. So let me get all my paperwork together and I'll show you what I need to go do this. Obviously, I need my new license. I need the clear title to the RV. If there's a lien or the bank owns it or something, you're gonna go through some other hoops. I don't know what they are. My registration from Washington State that's still valid. If you are a light truck, and this RV is a light truck, even though it's a van, this is that cargo thing that's up in my cupboard up there that proves I'm under 12.1. It'll save you like $32 annually, proving that you're a lighter weight vehicle here in South Dakota, so that's important enough. And then the application itself, which I already have filled out. Take all this in there, and we'll get South Dakota plates, hopefully today. Well, fan-freaking-tastic. I got my South Dakota plates here. One thing I will just note, it's not based on when you applied for your plates or registration. It's based on the year of your birth. So for whatever reason, June has a March renewal, and the only problem about March is, think of South Dakota in March as still being pretty snowy and cold. But I can do them every year over the mail and then have them rerouted to me somewhere else by America's Mailbox. So the cost to do this was $101 to transfer my title and get plates. I was going to get personalized plates, but you'd have to wait 6 weeks, and I just didn't want to do it. So for right now, I have stock plates. It's okay. I'm going to get personalized plates later. But right now, I just wanted to get everything taken care of. And to renew registration on the RV is going to be $151. You would add $25 to that if you were going to have specialty plates. So it could be up to $175 a year to register the RV in South Dakota. That is significantly cheaper than what I was paying in Washington State. I was paying $229 for personal plates and just under $200 for standard Washington plates. And we'll go over a little bit more of the finances. I got to go back to America's Mailbox right now, and I got to fill out some forms, give them my new plate information. They need to take a copy of my new South Dakota driver's license, and literally we are done in less than 24 hours. It is truly amazing. So cool. And I also just want to point out, it's a fantastic feeling getting all this taken care of in essentially less than 24 hours, right? That's pretty amazing. South Dakota is special. A couple things I kind of actually forgot. Well, not forgot, but I had priorities, right? Okay, well, in the same office where the courthouse was at, that's also where you drop off your voter registration. So that can be done in person. You got to show your passport, ID, and the form for voter registration, and then sign a waiver for your absentee ballots. You can even do it on the road, okay? And then secondly is the medical and dental insurance, which I have not figured out yet. I will figure it out. I can do it remotely, and I can maybe even get it done next week. So I am going to possibly stay in this general area and go get a physical checkup and just make sure everything's okay, physical health, dental, and everything, as well as I have already forgot to tell you, but I called my RV full-time insurance company because I love them. My friend down in Florida, Mark, helped me find this full-time RV full coverage insurance, which is just fantastic. It's actually through National General, but it also says Good Sam on it, you know. But no, it's really good insurance. They're going to pay me the total cost of the NATA value of my RV plus 20%. The deductible is $500 for the first year, but we're getting close to where it's going to drop to $250 for the second year. And like I said, it's a full-timers package, which is kind of a special kind of RV insurance that says that I live in the RV. I travel around the country all the time. So I do feel like that's important to keep, and it dropped, what was it? $12 annually. So not a whole lot of difference there. $1 a month cheaper than what I was paying. Literally went from $77 to $76 a month, technically, for my full coverage RV insurance, which I'll never go back to liability only. So just wanted to point that out. And then also I pointed out the fact that if you want your concealed carry license for, I think, 37 states, you do have to stay here or somewhere in South Dakota proving that for 30 days. And a couple people around here I've talked to are also doing that just to have that maxed out. Let's go inside, and I just want to close up with telling you the final costs. And again, I feel like I need to say it again. I just turned into a South Dakota resident in less than 24 hours, okay? Seriously. Okay, a couple disclaimers real quick, because your results could vary. If you have a newer RV, it could cost more if it weighs more. If you have a truck and a camper, you're going to get two things registered. So definitely costs could be much different to you depending on what you want. Or it could cost a lot cheaper, because I went with the most expensive forwarding and scanning package as well. So just I'm just sharing some of my results. So my results are, my costs are $25. It costs for one night to become the South Dakota resident here at America's Mailbox. I paid $386 for my forwarding and scanning services for 1 year, plus I added $150, or including $150 postage deposit in my account. I paid $28 to transfer my residency in South Dakota at the DMV, which included a Class B license, which also has the motorcycle endorsement. and $101 to transfer my RV's current registration to South Dakota and get standard South Dakota plates at the courthouse. And then I saved $12 on my full-timer's insurance, and I am not including anything like getting your concealed weapons permit or the change in medical and dental at this point, but I spent $528 in 24 hours to become an instant South Dakota resident, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So this was huge. I want to thank James, Wanderlust Estate, and Bob Wells for their videos and information. I just wanted to cover a little more that may have not have been covered as far as the actual processes and the order and how things really go. And I will let you guys know how this works out in the past. If I come up with any problems or obstacles or issues, I will definitely film my very first time where I need mail forwarded, or even when I get my first piece of mail. In fact, I am going to order some Amazon packages and have those delivered here, so I know I will be back here to pick up some packages in about 4 or 5 days. So, guys, take care. Jackson and I'll see you soon on the road as South Dakota residents. Bye, guys.